Hello and welcome to Going Green for Green, the show that takes you inside the business of the environment.
Another plastic bag is full. We throw it into the nearest landfill. It's out of sight and out of mind. What is the state of our humankind? And I don't know what to say, 'cause we produce more every day, and we call it garbage. Garbage, 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 garbage. Oh, that stuff that we throw away piles up on us every day.
Today on Going Green for Green, we're looking at the construction industry and how demand for greener buildings is changing the way our construction industry operates and builds its projects.
Garbage, oh, that stuff that we throw away.
Going Green for Green is brought to you by the Royal Bank of Canada.
For all your environmental solutions, Hazmat Management and Solid Waste and Recycling magazines, the Canadian publications that supply industry and municipal managers with all the environmental information necessary to stay on top of this rapidly evolving industry.
Construction and developers as a whole are constantly seen as, by the environmentalists, as the enemies. I mean, if we're taking apart inefficient old buildings and building new ones that are more efficient, are going to last longer, and operate at a lower expense in terms of its monthly costs, that's a good thing. So the LEED acronym, which stands for Leadership in Energy and Environmental Design, is a globally understood acronym which gives a grading system for construction projects and buildings around the world. Today we track down Jeff Smith, who's the CEO of Elliston, certainly one of the largest construction companies in Canada, if not North America, and talk to Jeff about how Elliston is being affected and how their practices are being changed by demand for greener buildings.
I think it's an accurate premise that developers and construction companies have been insensitive to environmental concerns up until very recently. They weren't the enemy of the planet, they just weren't thinking about it. And I think we were all too concerned with short-term cost versus not just long-term environmental impact, but long-term return on the investment in energy savings and waste recycling and that kind of thing. But over the last 2 or 3 years, it's gone to the top of their priority list. The value of their buildings is affected now. Plus, these are good people. People want to do good things for the planet. They just didn't know how. And now it's the first thing that everybody asks us at the beginning of the design and construction process. How do I get LEED Silver? How do I get LEED Gold? What can I do? What's involved? I read a stat that 35% of the solid waste globally is generated by the construction industry. So that's the first place we've got to make a dramatic change. On the Child Development Center in Calgary, we were able to divert 78% of the waste from that site away from landfills into recycling opportunities. So as you can see, that's a dramatic impact. There are about 58 different levels of design and construction process that you've got to hit to get a LEED Platinum accreditation. On the Child Development Center, we hit all 58 of them. There are different levels of LEED. The main ones are silver, gold, and then platinum. All of them deliver dramatic increases in efficiency of the building in terms of energy use, and decreases in terms of wastage being created by the construction process. You can get to a silver LEED rating for your building, which means the building is more valuable, better to work in, and much better for the environment if you plan it properly for a zero cost. To get to a LEED Gold rating, which is a really dramatic savings on both of those, both waste and energy, I think it's about a 5 or 6 or 7% increase in construction costs, but it's more than paid back over the life of the building, even in the first 5 to 10 years of the life of the building, in energy savings and other efficiencies. Platinum is a little more. Call platinum about 10, 12%. Again, more than paid back, but it does require that upfront investment.
You're looking at, basically, if you invest up front, you're looking at 10 years to recoup your costs and actually start to see savings on going LEED Platinum.
If you're talking about LEED Platinum, I think that's fair. If you're talking about LEED Silver, as I say, which again is a terrific improvement, it's zero.
Here we are in downtown Toronto at the Bay Adelaide Tower, and what's being built there is a far more efficient and a far more environmentally friendly building than was there previously. They are building a gold platinum 100-story office tower where the energy usage and the efficiency of the building is going to be so much more superior to what was there previously that one has to kind of change its view of construction or of development in general. The construction industry is really adapting. You know, Carl Blanchard from WZMH Architects is going to tell us about how architects are totally looking at their business in a different light as a result of the demand that's changing from people who want environmentally conscious buildings.
LEED is a rating system for sustainable buildings. In terms of LEED, we worked with an integrated team right from the beginning of the project. So we worked with the engineers, we worked with the contractors to make sure that the decisions we made early on in the project would ensure that the building was a LEED building. It's an intensified site, it's on public transit. So those immediately give it some LEED status and some LEED points. You look at Bay Adelaide, it's a glass building. It in fact becomes a very energy efficient skin. Between the 2 layers of glass and the double glazing, the space is filled with argon. Argon becomes an insulating element within the building skin. So ultimately, the energy that this building skin lets into the building is significantly less than some of the more traditional office buildings. You tend with LEED to build more durable buildings. In fact, you get a point for having a more durable building. So you're starting to choose materials and building systems, both mechanical systems and again building envelope, that will last beyond their standard lifestyle, so that the desire, the need to replace those things is much less than in conventional buildings.